5 leather-clad bikers roared into the small town, their engines thundering like a storm. People on the sidewalk turned their heads, whispering, nervous, because everyone knew the kind of trouble this gang carried with them. But in the middle of the dusty street, walking home with groceries clutched to her chest, was a woman no one ever noticed much. Her name was Maria, a quiet woman, living in a modest apartment, working double shifts at a diner. To most, she was invisible. But that day, she became the center of everything. The bikers slowed down and circled her like predators sizing up prey. One of them sneered, "Hey sweetheart, you lost. This is no place for little ladies like you." The others laughed, mocking her simple clothes, her quiet walk, her silence. The townsfolk watched from windows and shop doors, too scared to step in, too used to staying quiet when men like this came around. Maria, however, did not flinch. She calmly set her grocery bag on the curb, stood tall, and looked each of them in the eye without a word. "Cat got your tongue," another biker barked, leaning in closer. "We don't like people who think they're better than us." His laughter was sharp, meant to humiliate. The crowd held its breath, expecting Maria to shrink back, to run, to cry. But instead, she slowly reached up and rolled back the sleeve of her plain sweater. The bikers leaned in, ready to laugh again. What they saw, however, drained the color from their faces. Her arm was covered in ink, not the pretty flowers or delicate designs they expected, but intricate markings of military insignia, sacred oaths, and memorial tattoos etched in black and red. Every line told a story of sacrifice, of loss, of loyalty. At the center of it all was one phrase written in bold script: "For those who can't speak, I will." One of the bikers stammered, "Wait, those are service marks." Another noticed the name inked across her wrist, the name of a fallen soldier, and realization hit them. Maria wasn't just a simple woman. She was a decorated veteran, one who had stood on battlefields they could never imagine, who had endured more in silence than their roaring engines could ever drown out. Her voice, when it finally came, was steady but filled with weight. "You think strength is leather jackets and loud engines. You think fear makes you powerful. I've watched men twice your size crumble under fire. I've held the hands of brothers as they took their last breath. You're nothing but noise." The street was silent now. The bikers, once so bold, shuffled awkwardly, unable to meet her eyes. The tattoos on her skin told the truth louder than any argument could. They weren't facing a helpless woman. They were standing before someone who had lived honor, who carried courage on her skin, and who had no reason left to fear them. Finally, the leader lowered his head and muttered, "Respect, ma'am." Without another word, he revved his bike, signaling the others to leave. The 5 engines faded into the distance, leaving only the sound of the town's collective exhale. Maria picked up her groceries and continued walking home as if nothing had happened, but the people who watched would never see her the same again. She had carried her battles silently, never asking for recognition, never needing anyone to understand. Yet, in those 60 seconds, her ink told the story that words never could, a story of courage, sacrifice, and truth. And here's where you come in, dear viewer. If Maria's quiet strength moved you, if you believe that the real power in this world isn't in how loud we are, but in what we carry within us, then let her story remind you to live with courage and kindness. Tap that like button, share this video so others hear her message, and subscribe to this channel for more stories that reveal the hidden strength in everyday people. Because sometimes, the strongest voices are the ones we never expect.